So for this video here, we're just going to be doing a few examples of solving two-step equations that require us to do an undivide step. So example right here. Now remember, when we say solve, that means find the value for the variable that makes the equation true, and solving is just the process or the steps that we do to find that solution. Now if we have an example here, w plus 5 all divided by 2 equals 11. A way that we could do this isn't the way we're going to be showing here, is we could split it up. W over 2 and then plus and then 5 over 2 equals 11. Now we can undo the plus 5 halves with a minus 5 halves and then multiply by 2 to undo this divide by 2. But there is a more direct way of doing it, and that's what this video is about. So here we go. So we have our equation. We notice our variables on the left, so at the bottom of our scratch paper, we're going to have variable on the left equals and then the value. And just like solving any other two-step equation, we start out by asking what's being done to our variable. Well, thinking order of operations, we're going to add 5 and then we're going to divide by 2. So we need to undo that. We're going to undo a plus 5 and a divide by 2. So here we go. We'll start by undoing the divide by 2 with a multiply by 2 to both sides. So here's how that looks. Now we have this 2 is a numerator, so we have 2 over 2, and that just makes 1 times w plus 5 makes just w plus 5. And then the right-hand side, 11 times 2 makes 22. Next up, we're going to undo the plus 5 with a subtract 5. So we have w plus 5 minus 5. Plus 5 minus 5 is just 0. So we just end up with w equals, and then 22 minus 5 is going to make 17. Here we have x plus 2 over negative 3 equals positive 4. Now this negative here could be written out front like this. So when you see this one, we kind of want to think of it this way. We're going to undo the minus and the 3 on the same step here. So in your brains, these ones are basically the same. So again, here's our equation. We're going to end up with x equals and then the value at the bottom. So we need to think what's being done to our variable. Added by 2 divided by negative 3. So we're going to undo a plus 2 and a divide by negative 3. So we can go from this to just plain old x here. So we'll undo the divide by negative 3 first with a multiply negative 3 to both sides. So going to look like that. So negative 3 over negative 3 is just 1 times x plus 2 is just x plus 2. And then we have a 4 times a negative 3. Positive times negative is negative. 4 times 3 is 12. So again, this first step, multiply negative 3 to both sides. If you saw this, you would do the exact same first step. Next up, for solving, we're going to undo the plus 2 with a minus 2. So x plus 2 minus 2 makes x plus 0, which is just x. And then we have a negative 12 minus 2. So think you have to pay 12 and you have to pay another $2. So you're going to pay $14 total. So negative 14 is the value for x that makes this equation true, the solution. Here we have 1/4 times y minus 7 equals negative 5. So anytime we're multiplying by 1 over a number, it does mean divide. So we could also see it written like this. So in our brains, these two are equivalent equations. So the way we solve this, will be the same. So we have our equation. Y is on the left. Y is on the left at the bottom of our scratch paper equals, and then the value is going to go here. So we need to go from this to just plain old y. So what are we doing to y? We are subtracting 7 and dividing by 4. So we need to undo the minus 7 and the divide by 4 to go from here all the way down to here. So we'll start by undoing the divide by 4 with a multiply by 4 to both sides. So that's what this looks like. So we have 4 over 4 just makes 1 times y minus 7 just makes y minus 7. And here we have negative 5 times positive 4. Negative times positive is negative. 5 times 4, 20. Next up, undo the minus 7 with a plus 7 to both sides. That's going to make y minus 7 plus 7 is y plus 0 equals just y. And then negative 20 plus 7. Well, think money again. So this is you owe $20. You have $7. You owe more than what you have, so it's going to be a negative amount, or an owe amount, or a debt. And then 20 minus 7 is 13. So y equals negative 13 is the solution. Just like solving any other two-step equations, we do want to think what's being done to our variable and how do I undo this. So for this case here, we would start by undoing the divide by 2 with a multiply by 2. Then we would undo the plus 5 with a minus 5. Don't get freaked out just because we have a fraction bar in there. Just take it slow.